What's up, everyone? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the upcoming new album from the band Aeon, entitled Aeons Black. This is scheduled to be released on November the 20th through Metal Blade Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they're based out of Sweden, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be an extremely aggressive, but altogether blasphemous style of death metal. When push comes to shove, this band to me is the Deicide of Sweden. This is a band that takes so much influence from Deicide, both musically and lyrically. Just a lot of aggressive groove to their guitar sound, to just the guttural vocals, the blasphemous lyrical content. I mean, this band just oozes Deicide worship. But yet, you can also hear the influences from other bands like Vital Remains, some Immolation, some Morbid Angel, even current-day Cannibal Corpse. Aeon is one of those bands that just makes some really aggressive death metal, and they've been doing it for the last 5 to 7 years tops. I think of their debut album, Bleeding the False. I thought that album was just awesome, a great way to get introduced to this band's style and substance. Just some really over-the-top lyrical content, but yet the music is just tight and fluid, and they continue to do so with every single release, including their most recent album, Path to Fire, which came out in 2010. I was really sold on that record, and I liked what was going on with it. I mean, I first got introduced to this band by seeing a picture of Alex Webster wearing an Aeon t-shirt, and knowing what kind of mindset Alex Webster has, I decided to look the band up, and the rest is history, and I've enjoyed what this band has put out since. Now we get to their fourth full length. It's 15 tracks, and it runs around 50 minutes in length, so this is their longest record yet. And honestly, it continues the same kind of musical path that Aeon have been doing, but it seems as if they stepped things up a lot when it comes to the music department. And altogether, this is probably one of their best, if not their best work yet. The guitars on this record have an absolute hunger and crunch to their sound. There's a lot more groove and intensity to it than in previous records. Just the way the guitar tone sounds, the way that it's played, it just sounds fantastic. The riffs are really solid, really memorable, to the technical kind of solo work that's on this album. It's not an overly technical kind of guitar soloing, but what you do here, it just really shows itself a lot. Preferably on the opening track, Still They Pray, you get that really good kind of grit with the solo work, and on songs like Nothing Left to Destroy and the title track, some really solid soloing going on with those songs. But it's an altogether really solid guitar tone all throughout this record. It keeps you interested, and it keeps you wanting to listen to what this band has to do. Also, the bass tone is really solid. I really like the way that it's mixed and produced. It has a good, solid, warm tone to it. It's audible enough to where you can hear it. It doesn't overshadow any kind of guitar work that's being done here. It's just an equal representative, just like the guitar. And it really does sound really solid. Not too muddy, not too thick. It just feels right. I really like what's going on with the bass here. Drum-wise, the drums have a lot of variations to them, but most of the time you're going to get a good amount of blast beats and double bass, good little drum fills and rolls here and there in between. There's a lot of good solid drum work going on, and it varies from time to time. But really, the drum performance sounds really solid, and I enjoy it. And the vocals are your typical Aeon vocals. Very bellowing, very deep, very guttural. You can understand everything that the vocalist is saying, and just the way he delivers those roars and those screams, it's just awesome. This guy's got a really good, intense voice to him, and even when he spouts out the lyrics that he does, it's really, really sick. Of course, the lyrics are your usual run-of-the-mill Aeon lyrics, very controversial, very over-the-top, but that's what Aeon set out to do, and they are great at doing this style of music justice. And the interesting thing about this record is that this album has a lot of instrumental tracks, interludes, so to speak. It kind of helps the conceptual vibe of this record, because I'm really not too sure if this album is conceptual or not, but judging from the way the album cover looks, to just how everything flows through track by track, it seems as if a story is being told, and the instrumental tracks really help bridge that gap to certain songs in ways. Honestly, I could have done without them, but that's just how I feel. But for considering what this type of an album is, I think it works. But the songs are really the highlights and the stars of this album. It is really solid. So overall, Aeon are continuing to prove why they are going to be a dominant force in modern Swedish death metal. Just really awesome music, a lot more groove and punch to their music this time around, and they have a story to tell you, and they want you to listen, and Aeon deliver the goods here. If I had to pick any favorite tracks, I would have to say the true opening track of this album, Still They Pray, Nothing Left to Destroy, the title track, Dead Means Dead, and Blessed by the Priest. Some really solid songs on this record, so pick this up when it comes out. Again, the album is Aeons Black by Aeon. This is released on Metal Blade Records. It'll be out on November the 20th. Pick this one up, and I'm going to give this an 8.5 out of 10. Really, really solid, groovy death metal. Just keeping it blasphemous and keeping it the way Aeon know how to do. So, support this band. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel, and until the next time, Army Ho out.